Greetings loyal subscribers and honoured guests. Welcome back to another episode of Covermount Chaos Zzzaped, the next generation, the series where we take a look at the brand new games and demos that are provided to Patreon subscribers for the modern incarnation of Zzzaped magazine, which is now up to issue 15. As I'm sure you will agree, there are some interesting games this time around. This will be my last Commodore 64 related video for a little while, probably until issue 16 is released in fact. I have tons of plans for the channel that are going to be keeping me extremely busy. I will return to regular breadbin content in 2024. For now though, let's begin playing these new games. We kick things off this time with Awesome Slam Siblings, which is a C64 interpretation of Nintendo's Super Smash Bros. This is just a demo currently, so you can only play as Kirby against Ness, but it's already showing a lot of promise with really nice character sprites, animation and music. The control system for Smash Bros was already fairly simple, so it has been adapted very nicely for the C64, and pretty much all of Kirby's moveset is intact. What I think would be cool is if this game didn't just stick to the Nintendo roster, but perhaps included the superstars of the C64 scene, such as Monty Mole and Clyde Radcliffe beating the crap out of each other. Perhaps an idea for a sequel or a spin-off. Anyway, I'm still very impressed with what's been shown here so far. Next up is a puzzle platformer called Pour Noir. You are a grizzled detective cat who is about to leave the office for the evening after a very slow day, but then a dame knocks on your door and asks for your help to return her golden yarn balls that have been pilfered by the dirty rats that populate the city. You take the job and set out into the night. The twist with this game is that with you being a feline, you have 9 lives, so you can die on purpose and then use the corpse of your previous run as an extra platform or a meat shield to block bullets. As long as you reach the yarn ball at the end of the stage with at least 1 life left, you begin the next one with all 9 lives again. This is a neat idea for a game and it's very nicely presented in a classic black and white noir style. The third game this issue is called Escape Room, and this is a maze game where you have to navigate around using just the beam of your torch. You have to locate coloured keys scattered around each maze and then unlock matching doors, while watching out for traps. Should you activate a trap, you have 10 seconds to initiate a minigame where you have to remember a series of directions and then repeat them, or be given an electric shock. My short-term memory has got so bad that I have no chance in successfully remembering these, to be honest. Also strewn around the maps are batteries that you will need to keep your torch shining, and health to refill any that you may lose to the traps. Sometimes you will also encounter switches, and turning on all of these on a level will light up the entire maze, but they still won't show you exactly where all the keys are. If you play this game on easy mode, then the mazes are very small and you only have seconds on the timer to beat them. Playing on hard mode feels like a whole different game, where the mazes are way bigger and more elaborate, but you have a much longer time limit as a result. Following this, we have another game from Richard Bayliss and the team at The Next Dimension. Lunar City is a science fiction reimagining of the classic Atari 2600 game Atlantis by Imagic. Your task is to use 3 gun emplacements to shoot down the invading waves of aliens that are trying to break through your defensive shields and destroy Lunar City. You can control each gun separately with up or the fire button firing the central one, and left and right on the joystick firing the left and right gun respectively. At the top of the screen is a counter with the number of aliens required to advance to the next stage. Now, I had never played the original Atlantis before, so when I first started playing this, I couldn't figure out why I was suddenly getting a game over. It turns out you only have a limited number of shots, and should you use them all up with aliens left over, then it ends the game instantly. Once I understood this, I was more careful with my shots and managed to make it a few stages into the game. There are 16 stages in total though, so I'm going to have to get quite a bit of practice if I want to see the later ones. As with all of Richard's projects, this one has a very high level of polish with great music and nicely drawn graphics. The penultimate game is called Snake Escape, and it takes the age-old gameplay of the concept of Snake, as made famous on Nokia phones, and adds a bit more depth and excitement to it. This time there are stars strewn throughout each level, and you need to collect a target number of these on each stage in order for your wizard friend to make a key for you to escape to the next set of harder stages. As I said, the Snake gameplay is quite old, and some would also say tired, but this does manage to inject some new life into the idea, and I was surprised just how much fun I was having. It does help that this is very charmingly presented with a really catchy background tune, and some neat, if not mind-blowing graphics. Finally, we have a demo of an upcoming game called Kilbasa Empire, which does sound very interesting but is quite early and rough at the moment, with a lot of the ideas yet to be fully implemented. The finished game promises a blend of farming, resource management, mini-games and zombies. I shall be following this one with interest, and I look forward to reading the Zzzaped review of the end product in a future issue. So there we have it, a very cool collection of different games this time around. The highlight for me is Pour Noir, as I do love cats, and the central gameplay mechanic of using your previous lives is quite novel, paired with the film noir style to good effect. Second place goes to Snake Escape, and I was quite surprised just how enjoyable a new Snake type game turned out to be. The quality level of this particular Covermount is very high across the board though, and I don't think there was a single dud on here. If you like what you see, then you can subscribe to Zzzaped64 via their Patreon to receive your own copy of the magazine and Covermount files on a bi-monthly basis. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, then please consider leaving a like, dropping a comment, subscribing to the channel or sharing on social media. I also want to give extra thanks to all of those who regularly watch my Commodore 64 content. It's an important part of the channel and gaming in general to me, and I will continue to make it for as long as I am able. See you again on the next episode of Covermount Chaos Zzzaped, The Next Generation, sometime around the end of October. And in the meantime, take care.